Hello everyone, welcome back to Fitwatcher and welcome to a new week where in this week I watched some very unique movies which you love to know about. So without any delay, let's get right into it. So let's talk about Blade 1 and 2 first, and these movies came back in 1998, although I watched these in TV back then when I was a child, so I did not remember most of the story. And after watching Deadpool and Wolverine, I thought why not rewatch them again, right? So I did, and I must say this movie still holds up to its value even in 2024. And Blade was truly an awesome badass character from the early days of Marvel superhero movies, apart from the X-Men movies, of course. And this awesomeness starts with a very interesting music playing in a club. If you can't imagine or if you don't know what I mean, do watch the intro of Blade 1 on YouTube. Just type in Blade 1 intro music on YouTube and you'll get the video. Coming back to the movie again, the interesting thing about this one is the character development of Bleach's character, where in this one we are shown the story of Bleach's origin to the redemption arc of his character. But if you don't know why Blade is special or what special powers he has, which makes him so badass, because he was a vampire himself. Not a full vampire, full-fledged vampire, but a half vampire himself. So when he was about to be born, his mother gets attacked by a vampire, and in the result from his birth, he gets his special powers of vampires. But interestingly, he gets none of their weaknesses. Meaning, unlike the all other vampires, he can work in daylight. That is why they call him the Daywalker in the movie. And because his mother was killed by a vampire, he vows to kill every one of them, and that's the basic plot of the movie. But it goes much deeper than what I'm saying here. So for that, you will have to watch the movie. And another good aspect of the movie was Wesley Snipes' performance. And there goes a saying, like, if you can't imagine any other actors in that role meant for that actor specifically. And Wesley Snipes looks like he was born for that role. But anyway, considering the MCU plans up ahead, we may also see Mahershala Ali's Bleach's character too, or maybe not. So let's see how it goes. And the next very interesting one I came across this week was Push. It is a superhero movie in its unique ways. For starters, it has Chris Evans as the main lead of the movie, and it is unique because it is a Hollywood movie that is based on China for the most part. And I don't remember when was the last time I watched a superhero movie based in Asia. If you remember any, let me know. And moving on to the plot, now it is a good point about the movie that the plot is very unpredictable, and basically it is about a world where there are some special people who have different set of powers, like mutants. Like movers are telekinetic beings, watchers can see into the future, sniffers can smell and know everything, and pushers can control anyone's mind and make them do anything. So they have mind control abilities basically. And also there's another interesting thing I notice about this one is the background music, which plays in most of the scenes, and in some scenes it gets loud and there's no dialogue but the music itself, and it sets a different feel into it. So overall it's a very unique movie, I must say. And next up, I got to watch the Bikeriders. I was particularly interested for this one because of biker gang stuffs and because Tom Hardy was in it. But after watching the movie itself, my opinions have quite changed a bit. So let me tell you why. The story is based on the motorcycle or biker gangs of 1960s, and we are shown the story of such a gang called the Vandals. Although the story starts with a narration given by Jodie Comer's character Katie, where she explains the legacy of Vandals gang, where she is led by Johnny and Benny, two brothers, which is played by Tom Hardy and Austin Butler, and how their gang started and where it gets ended. Although the authenticity of the plot of 1960s gangs were on point, the execution is actually what felt very slow, and the climax was not up to the mark for me, and it was very anticlimactic, I can say. But anyway, moving on to another interesting one that came recently to Netflix, which is Wonderland. And it is a mostly Korean movie, mostly because it is not entirely in Korean. Rather than the movie has three languages spoken in it, English, Chinese and Korean. So let's come to the actual movie now. The movie's concept is basically to save one's consciousness into an AI so that their loved ones can talk to them via video calls even after they die. It may sound little silly or horrible depending upon how you think. But again, I remember I watched a show with the same concept last year maybe, and that was Amazon's Prime's upload. That show's plot was more or less like this one only, but in my opinion, that one was better executed than this one. But again, the movie's concept is actually what disturbs me the most to come to think of it. And just imagine you die, and still after your death, you are living in a virtual world with no physical body, or whatever happens to you, it can be controlled by some company. Thinking about it makes me scratch my brain, and also reminds me why the living days of our life is so important, and why we should not waste for things that does not really matter to us. So I think the concept is actually good, but it's a little disturbing. Now, coming back to the movie Wonderland again, technically the movie was very good enough, but yet the movie also actually succeeds to show the emotions and everything. But overall, I find it quite not well executed and not satisfiable till the end. So it is it was a like hit or miss for me. Coming to the next one, My Spy, Eternal City. It is a sequel to the first one, My Spy, and it has Dave Bautista as the lead, who happens to be a former Secret Service agent. And then he meets a little girl and her mother, and in the end, they gets married, and he becomes the stepfather to the little girl. This was the story of the first part, basically. This part expands on the same story further, but in a lame way. So the cute little girl in the first movie, she is now grown up to be a teenager, and now it's all teen drama. And I think the movie in this point deviated completely from the main plot of the first one, which actually did make it the interesting one. And the most interesting part of the first one, the Secret Service stuffs and the suspense and the comedy and drama, they are all gone from this part, and we're left with some unnecessary teenage drama and lame comedy. And for God's sake, they made Batista as side character, useless side character in this one. So in one sentence, it is a total time waste. And if you want, I'd recommend you to watch the first part only. So these are the movies I could watch this week, and I forgot I am also starting to watch the season 2 of Jessica Jones. I am on the second episode till now. The starting is not as good as the first season, but let's see how it goes further. I will update in the upcoming weeks about that. So subscribe in that note, and then now let's quickly move on to the next section, music. And here are the new ones I discovered this week. Bad Advice by Chainsmokers, Mariana Cross by Ghost. Actually, it's not a new one, but I was listening to it on loop, so I'm suggesting that one. And Forever and Always by Old City, Khubsurat song from the upcoming Street 2, and Chutta Male from Devra Part 1, are also an upcoming Indian movie. And these are the songs I have added to my music library this week. I have provided links for all of the songs in the pinned comment insert. Do listen to them, and let me know what songs you listened recently. And thank you so much for giving your valuable time. Like and subscribe this video if you find it interesting what I'm doing. And on that note, until next time, stay fit and keep watching Fitwatcher. This is NK signing off.